Okay, you guys wanted to see some of the extra cream soaps that I made, or at least look at some of the consistencies of them. This one is, I made it about 2 months ago, maybe a little bit longer. And this one was made with less, it's my base, it's the same recipe as what it was, but instead of adding the extra 11 ounces of water to it, so it equaling 46 ounces, we added a total of 23 ounces of vegetable glycerin to it. And it's a lot firmer, it's very thick, and like I said, it's been curing for, or rotting, I should say, for like close to 3 months. A solid 2 months, 2.5, something like that. But it's real thick, it's real creamy. I like this one for my just basic when you add a fragrance to it, because when you scoop it out and put it into the shower puff, it dissolves like right away into the shower puff, and it creates a lot of lather to it. So this is very, very firm, as you can tell, which gives me room for when I re-whip it or when I add fragrance to it and the preservatives and stuff like that. But you can see that it's a pretty solid, the excess vegetable glycerin turns it into being pretty solid. So that's about 2.5, 3 months out from it rotting. Okay, so that's that one. Now, this one is my papaya cream soap, which I think everybody's seen me making. This one was made instead of water. I used pureed papaya, fresh papaya, in it and cooked it in it at the very beginning. There was no water added to this one. So it's our basic recipe, the same recipe that I did yesterday, or uploaded yesterday. It's just instead of the water amount in it, I added fresh papaya puree. And that would be this soap. Now this one is probably close to 6 months old, and it still has that nice thick texture to it, but if you notice, it's not quite as crumbly type. It's kind of got a really pretty sheen to it. It's a beautiful soap. And you get a little bit of the smell of the sugars in it. So see how that one ends up being pretty creamy? Whereas the one that I made just a couple of months ago ended up being, it's a little bit more, I want to say almost not quite coarse, but it's a little bit more crumbly, so to speak. But once you start whipping it, it doesn't. You see how that kind of gets that really beautiful creamy look to it, and see all that sheen and shine to it? That's what happens the longer it rots. So they actually turn into very beautiful, beautiful soaps once they've sat and rotted for enough time. This one is, I use it just a little bit at a time when I need to add certain things. I add herbs or an exfoliant to it or whatever, but you can probably, I don't know if you can see it really well or not, but you can see it's like got a beautiful little sheen texture to it. And that's natural. That's not me adding anything to it to get it to look that way. No micas have been added to this, no fragrance has been added to this, nothing. The only thing that is in this is because it does have the fresh papaya puree in it. It does have preservative in it. I put the preservative in it right away. So that's the only difference with this one. And this is completely unscented. You don't get the papaya scent out of it, but you do get a slight, like, caramelized sugar kind of scent out of it. It's kind of because of the sugars that were actually in the papaya naturally. When they cooked with the oils and the lye solution, it creates almost like a caramelized, that's where the natural color comes from too. But this one is by far, I think, one of my favorites. I love this one for my face. It takes off all of that dead skin. It sloughs it right off of my face, and it's like my face glows afterwards. It's amazing. So if you get the chance and you have some, I would say use fresh fruits. I don't know about lemons and grapefruits. I haven't done that yet, but it's something I'm definitely interested in doing. But fresh fruits are, and pureeing them up. I have like a Magic Bullet or a NutriBullet or whatever they call them. Puree them up. It kind of liquefies them and breaks it all down, so there's no like fruit chunks in it. You want this to be very, very solidified when you do it. So when you mix that with your lye solution and then add that solution to your oils and make it like you normally do, it ends up being a beautiful soap. It may act a little different. It may set up harder. It may not set up at all. It may foam, while it's cooking, like bubble up a lot on you. I got the hiccup, so, and stuff like that. But if you just kind of stick with it, keep an extra eye on it, I'm telling you, you cannot beat putting fresh fruits in it. And I'm one that I like to push the envelope, so that's what I like to do. So as you've seen, that was the papaya. Now I'm going to go back to my it's pretty much pure vegetable glycerin, because this one has 23 ounces of vegetable glycerin in it. And like I said, the other one, you notice it was very, very creamy texture, very, very soft. See, I can add some water to this, but I don't want to, because if this is just going to have just fragrances added to it, I want that really nice, thick. It's used on a daily basis. You just scoop out a little bit out of a little jar, and then you put it on your shower puff, and you have lather galore. Now this one, as you can see, the other one you've seen that it had a nice sheen to it. We haven't gotten that quite yet with this one. So, and this one's about, like I said, 2 months into the rot time. So I haven't gotten too much sheen. There's a little bit of one. I guess once I kind of smoothed it out a little bit, you get a little bit of sheen, but not like what we had with the other soap, the papaya one. So I'm just giving you guys some pointers on, what to look for and what soap looks like once we've what we've added to it, and how different variations can make a soap completely change. So like I said, this one, the papaya soap here, at least 6 months sitting. 2 to 3 months. I would say 2.5 months, so roughly 10 weeks. This one's been sitting. So you get a lot of variation with them. And then in another 3 weeks, we will be watching. I'll be checking in with everyone on the one that we made yesterday. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of a heads up to show you a little bit about what the different soaps, some of the additions that you can do with it, and what to expect, what it looks like, and how it looks after a while. So I will be making some other soaps. I'm going to be probably making a palm oil soap. I'm thinking about making a tallow soap coming up here pretty soon. Cream soaps, it is. And I'm thinking about seeing what I can come up with a soap with no stearic acid in it, and show you guys how that works. So I'm sure that they're going to get a lot of questions, and I'm hoping that everybody's looking forward to some of these new experiments that we're coming up with. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.